up, everybody? I'm Sal Kalani. This is Reggie Steele. And welcome to Spitballin. Spitballin.
You gotta have faith in your abilities. What's up, everybody? For a change, I am Sal. Was late actually today, Kalani, and this is Reggie. You better tell them you were late today, Steele.
Yes, vindicated. Welcome to Spitballin. It's about time. Thank you for taking ownership of that. I appreciate it, bro.
Well, there's two things. One, I couldn't find my headphones, which is kind of annoying. They weren't where you leave them. Don't you hate when you put something and it isn't where you left it, where it's always supposed to be?
Yes, that's a pet peeve. I hate that.
Yeah, like my headphones, this little headphone thing, it's supposed to be on the arm of my couch in the crook up in the cushion right there. So I can grab it whenever I want.
That is not that is not the ideal location, Sal.
And then when I can't grocery shop without it. I just like going to the grocery store, putting in my music, and just that's why all these mass shootings at grocery stores scare me, because if that shit goes down, I won't even hear it. I'll be rocking out. People will be falling down in the frozen food aisle. Like, what the fuck's happening?
Yeah, really. I am I'm telling you right now, I am anti-sensory deprivation in public places. You never catch me with my headphones on.
But here's the thing, man. I like to cook, and it's almost like an artistic experience where, like, these are my paints, and I'm gonna go around grabbing. And I don't even know exactly 100% always what I want to make. What I just figure it out on the fly, and then you come up with stuff. But then listening to tunes, it's good times, man.
Nice.
It's good times.
All right. I appreciate.
And you don't want to hear all these idiots and people talking around you. It's annoying. But then once I get into the checkout line, I put it away.
Dude, what grocery store are you going to where there are idiots talking around you? I go to the grocery store, I don't hear anybody, right?
There's people. Well, sometimes. I mean, LA, you never know who's walking in. There's always some crazy motherfuckers walking around.
That is hilarious. Yeah, we live in a different life, bro. I don't have.
That ain't happening at the Whole Foods.
It's not happening at the Whole Foods, bro. It's
well, the Trader Joe's at Hollywood
no.
Vine pops
Let me
up.
share this with you. When Whole Foods was bought out by Amazon, and they started to change all the personnel.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm gonna tell you right now, Whole Foods before Amazon purchase, it was the best. It was an experience. I promise you. You walk in, it was like all the vegetables and the fruit had been polished. Everything was shiny and sparkling, and it was plentiful. It was like the Horn of Plenty in there. Every shelf was full with apples. I felt like every time an apple, like someone came and took an apple, there was an employee that came from the back with a brand new one and popped it back in place, right? Everything was full. Everything was full. Broccoli, celery, spinach, peppers, whatever you could think of. Everything. Avocados, onions, everything was full. Amazon took over. Man, it looked like the store had been looted. It was crazy, bro. It was like you go to places and you're like, yo, seriously? No cauliflower?
What's the deal with that?
I don't know, man. So that was one.
So my buddy Stefani, you met Stefani. He works for Amazon.
I got one more for you. Hold on, I got one more for you. And then they started to hire locally. They started to hire like all these people out of Oakland, which, hey, look, I live in Oakland, California.
No, you shitting on your local community people,
hey, man, all I'm saying is I'm not shitting on anybody. I'm just telling my experience, right? They started to hire all these. They kind of fired the people who were there initially, and then they had to go through a rehiring process, right? That happens when somebody takes over, right? Some people were rehired, some were let go. But then they hired all these local people. And I promise you, one time, I'm like going down the bread aisle, and I hear these two dudes having a conversation that had to be arguably the most inappropriate conversation in a public forum that I've ever experienced, as far as in a grocery store. One guy was talking about this chick that he hooked up with, and the other guy was like, word, like not even word. He was just like, yo, for real, man. He's like, man, yeah, she was doing all kind of shit, man. I wouldn't even fucking with that bitch like that. And it was like, I'm walking by with my grocery cart, like, where the fuck am I? Like, what happened? Like, I just froze. What happened to the Whole Foods where people walk down the aisle and ask you, "Hi, thank you, hi, welcome. Is there anything I can do for you? Like, can I help you out? You need something? I'm going to." Nah, man, damn that shit was out the window. It turned into like I felt
So
like I was at a club, a nightclub outside.
did you hear what else the girl did?
Yeah, I heard some other stuff, but I was like, yo, I'm gonna keep it moving. Because I was like, yo, this is so inappropriate. But so yeah, but Whole Foods now they kind of figured it out. It went to shit early and now it's starting to get better. But even now, even though it's not the Whole Foods that it used to be, I still don't have to worry about conversations about idiots.
It's why my buddy Stefani works for Amazon. He's kind of higher up with them, and he deals with like human resources, so he's got to deal with a lot of bullshit, right?
Okay.
But it's funny, man. He's always defending Amazon, and all these unions trying to take over.
You know why unions are there? Because owners treat their employees like shit, right? Like they don't want to pay them and they want to work them crazy mad hours. So somebody had to come in and be like, yo, it's not right for someone to work 13 hours a day. Right. Like it's just not, that's not acceptable. So, and you know me, I'm a union guy. Like I have a union job.
Oh, yeah, you have a union at your job.
Hell yeah, I got a union at my job. And you talking about job security. Look, honestly, I can see both sides of it. I really can. Like I understand management's approach, but I also understand that there are people above management. Like the company I work for is a privately held company. There are like 8 people that own this company, but they own the company I work for, but they also own Pier 39. All the shops on Pier 39 pay rent to these people. They own the garage at Pier 39. They own that. It's 8 people. And of those 8, 2 people have like 58, maybe 9. 8. I'm gonna say 8. 8 people and 2 people have 51% of the ownership. So
that's not right there. Those people got way too much money and power. And why? Like they worked hard for it. Shit, they probably inherited all that shit.
Well, they got it. Somebody owns it. Somebody gave it to them. They passed it down. Whatever the case may be. All I'm saying is
8 people own all that shit.
It's 8 people. Crazy. There are 8 people that's like raking in the dough, right? Yeah, so management, so those owners put pressure on management to increase profit margins, right? And that means keeping your expenses low. And who are the expenses? The employees, right? Like, but then they raise the rates on the rent for the shops on the pier, right? They raise the rates on the restaurants and everything else. And so when we come in looking for a livable wage, a cost of living increase, or whatever the case may be, that cuts into their profit margin. So then they, in turn, raise prices for services and goods, right? So I get that the management is trying to appease the people that hired them, but at the same time, if they don't pay us, then we leave and the quality of service goes down. So then they try to hire new people. You know what I mean? So
and then they ended up talking about getting poontang in the aisles instead of working and offering fresh apples.
Exactly. So, but now it's better. It's better. I haven't seen those guys at that.
That's so funny. See, I can just imagine you walking around there, Reg. That's funny. Like,
hey,
you sound like you getting old, Reg.
Hey, man.
Like, hey, young blood, can I get some fresh apples?
Yeah, man. I'll be with you in 1 second. Let me finish telling my friend about how I'm about to hook up with this chick. And she started tripping at the last minute because I gave her a fake name at first. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know it was going to turn into a real thing. I just thought I'd give her a fake name. And now, I really like the bitch. And she wouldn't know I told her my real name. Now she feel like I've been lying to her the whole time. You know what I'm saying? Hold on, I'm gonna get them apples for you 1 second. Let me finish it. Yeah, man. So I told him, you know what I mean? It's like, dude, yeah, don't worry.
I had to deal with people like you when I used to work at the gas station. I used to work at BP, right?
What the hell you mean, people like me?
You see, complaining about, an employee just trying to get through his day. So I'd work there and had my radio playing all the time, right? With music. And sometimes the music could get a little loud, but I don't know what track is coming next, right? I had my boombox. I'd put like, a CD with multiple tracks. And I remember one time this Nirvana track came on, a B-side you never hear. The song's called Moist Vagina. And all he says in the song is, yeah, the moist vagina. And then he just starts screaming marijuana over and over at the end of the song. So he's like, marijuana. So all these people are in line at the gas station. It just happened to get slammed, and the song's going, marijuana. And I'm like,
And,
this
and,
one
and
woman,
go ahead, go ahead.
well, this woman's like, you're saying on what? I'm like, what? She's saying on number 5. I was like, oh, all right. She's like, well, maybe if you turn down your music, you could hear what we're saying. And I was like, oh yeah. I'm like, no, music's fun. And then like I remember this guy, and I'm trying not to bring
The music's fine. That's hilarious. That's
I'm
hilarious.
not trying to bring attention to it. And this guy, this younger guy, comes in. He goes, hey man, this is fucking cool. Just good song, screaming marijuana. Get out of here, fucking
Dude.
day rush.
I think it's probably safe to say that customer service is not your strong suit.
Oh, fuck 'em.
I don't know. You got a song blaring saying moist vagina and marijuana, and the lady's trying to talk to you. You say, she asks you to turn it down, and you're like, no, the music's fine.
I'm like, man, you need to speak up. I had any problems with anyone else about it.
Oh my goodness. And for the record, I do not complain a lot. I'm simply telling you the story. I walk by the guys in the store. It'd be one thing if I walked by the guys and I was like, hey fellas, that's conversation not appropriate for a public forum where people would hear with their kids and their family, right? Like that'd be one thing.
That's what you should have thrown down on.
No, what I did was I just kept walking, because these dudes are just hired. I don't know where they came from. They obviously don't know what it's like to work around the public. So, I ain't trying to get stabbed at Whole Foods. So, yeah, man, I'm getting older, dude. It's like Chris Rock said, as you get older, there's some things you're conservative about and some things you're liberal about, right? When it comes to the money and taxation, maybe I'm conservative. And then when it comes to like prostitution and whatever else, I'm liberal.
Yeah.
So whatever he says. So, oh,
Metro's back, baby. He's just chilling.
Nice.
Did you watch that documentary, or that's more homework you didn't do?
Oh, the one about Egypt and the cats. And the
yeah, man.
I did not watch that, but I did watch this. I did watch the first episode of Rehearsal.
Oh, good, right? Crazy.
Dude, I'm just going to say this as clearly, and I don't feel comfortable watching mentally ill people be exploited.
What makes you think? He feels for these people.
Dude, he himself.
Oh, he's a little off. He's a little weird one.
He's off and he's weird. He sent, just for the record, he sent a crew of gas maintenance people to a guy's house. They scanned his entire home. They were not electricians or the gas company, whatever they were. They scanned his home, and then they went to a warehouse and made an exact.
Is that amazing?
Yes, it's amazing, but it's also a little unstable.
Creepy. Yeah, it's so creepy.
Made it an exact replica of his home, and then he proceeded to hire an actor that looked like the guy, and they recorded the guy that had, so this actor could have the same mannerisms, the same pacing and tone.
The depth of it is amazing.
Dude, it is creepy, it's scary, it's uncomfortable.
Some funny moments.
The guy whose show it is,
he's a fielder. Off, yeah. No, right? Yeah, he totally is.
And then the guy in the first episode who's
the trivia guy,
who is, by all intents and purposes, next level. Like he's got to be, I don't even know, Asperger's. He's a little off, but the fact that he was like, yeah, I want to tell her that, I want to tell this group that I do not have the higher education that I had. I lied and said that I had a master's, but I only have a bachelor's, and everyone in this group had. I'm afraid that one person in the group is gonna befriend me and say some mean, horrible things about me. I was like, I don't want to watch mentally ill people.
But see, don't you see that guy? That's a real feeling that guy has, and Fielder's thing actually helps him get through it. He helps that guy. Yeah, it's like an experiment. It is, but it really does. Like how emotional it was good. I thought like it was helpful to that guy. But you're right. It's that now you think that guy's wacky. You got to see the next one.
Oh, hold on though. No, just before you go even further, I saw the preview because the next one was about to come on. You know, it's like next
Yeah,
episode
yeah.
in 10,
The woman.
9, 8. I just saw the beginning of her, and she wants to have a kid. She's 44, but she doesn't want to have a kid until she's in a loving relationship.
Right, she's a
And
virgin and she's a total
she's a
religious woman.
virgin. I didn't know she's a
Bro,
virgin.
you got to see it, bro.
She's a
I
virgin.
mean, maybe not, but she says it like she's saving herself for someone with God.
Okay, and I'm gonna tell you right now, that ship has sailed, buddy. It's over.
I'm
After
gonna
this
tell you,
episode airs,
here's the thing.
No one will date this woman.
It gets so crazy.
She's
that
undateable.
This woman almost the show just goes off, and it's just mainly the next few episodes is her. So you just see a little bit of where the level she is. It's like, wow.
Dude.
Now here's another thing.
Well, hold up, though, before you even go there, because I did see the level where she's on the app and she's swiping, right? She's swiping left on everybody. And the guy goes, "What about him?" She goes, he's a little out of shape. What about him? He's a little too old. What about him? He's a little too tall. What about him? He's a little too short. What about him? He's a little too dark. What about him? He's a little too light. What about him? He doesn't look nice. What about him? He looks too nice. What in the entire fuck?
Bro, I can't. There's so much more to it. You got to see it because there's so much more that he does in this thing, in the experiment. You just have to see it. We got to talk about it because it's crazy as fuck. And it's so another level. It's another level, dude. Just to see how far it could go.
You know what it's like for me? It's like watching Hoarders, right? Like whenever I watch Hoarders, and everybody comes in and they're like, "Ma, you gotta clean up this place. What are you doing?" And she like, "Here, let's throw away this cup." And she's like, "No, I got that cup in 1968, and that's the original straw that came with it. I'm keeping that cup." And everyone's mad at mom because she won't throw away some stuff, and they're walking through paths through their shit, right? And everyone seems to think it's just a matter of her being sentimental. They're like, she just wants to keep everything. And I'm watching this show and it's so frustrating. And I'm like, no, she's mentally ill, right? Like it's more than just she got sentimental. It's like there is a deeper problem here. It's like the guy who's like the person who's OCD and everyone's like, "Hey man, this guy, he's cleaning up all the time. Dude, just stop cleaning." And he's like, "I can't stop cleaning because the shit is deep inside of him," right? Right. But I'm saying these problems are not going to be resolved by bringing in different babies.
It's so crazy. You got to see it. It's such another level. No, here's another one. So
go ahead.
And this, I loved, this is my first introduction to him, but I didn't realize he did have a show for 4 years on HBO called Nathan for You. And that one is, they're usually 15 minutes. They're 2 skits and they're different. And it's kind of funny. It's all these, he goes to these LA local businesses and he tries to make their business better with these silly, wacky ideas, right? Like the first episode. This yogurt store not far from me doesn't have much business, and he's like, "Well, how can I make it?" He's like, "A new flavor that no one's ever had, but they'd be willing to try." And he goes, "A poo flavored yogurt." And he literally had scientists come up with this concoction that it's edible, and he made it poo flavored. And people would come, and that day people would get like a strawberry and a poo flavored because they just had to try it, and they all hated it, tasted what they thought poo would taste like.
So, just for the record, to come up with a poo flavored anything, someone has to actually taste the poo.
Right? I think you can derive that from the smell.
So rotten.
I mean, eggs, remember when Harry Potter did those jelly beans, the jelly belly beans that smelled like, taste like vomit and earwax and booger?
Well, those are, I mean, let's without trying to be too disgusting, those are things that at some point I think everyone has probably tasted just based on being alive and being a kid and just experimenting. Like, okay, let me.
All right, well, so what we have to do is you got to try the poo yogurt and then try your own feces and let us know how accurate it is for the next podcast.
They still have the poo flavor there?
No, it only lasts a day. All this stuff is usually a day. These are like back in 2013 to 16, but they're funny and they're shorter and they're like they're more funny. Where the Rehearsal's a lot more like another level. But the
Yeah,
amount when
it's
I
a big
saw them
investment.
remake stuff, I was like,
Well, yeah, remember
wow,
when they
this is
remade the
the amount
bar?
of money that goes into it. Yeah, it's
Yes.
crazy.
When they remade the entire bar, the outside and inside of a bar, so this guy could rehearse walking into this place,
Yeah.
picking out a table, sitting down, and having a conversation with eventually his friend, but in the process having a conversation with an actor who's acting like his friend, right?
So
Trying to come up with the
weird.
same mannerism. Dude, it was weird. And the best part about it was in the end of that first episode, when he told her, she was like, oh, okay, yeah, it
Yeah, it
sounded pretty
didn't
good,
matter
right?
at all.
It didn't matter. But then if you listen to it, he said after he told her that and she was okay, he proceeded to tell her everything
Yeah, it got
that
way
ever happened to
deeper.
his life.
See, and then you're right,
Right.
because a lot of these people, they just want a friend. They just need something. They need
Dude.
someone. They need mental help. But
Yes. They ruined her life too, by the way, because she said a couple times in a couple different scenarios, she said, yeah, things aren't going well. I live with my room. I have
all right,
roommates
you can't
and I
stand a
hate
roommate.
them. She's like, and I hate them. She said
When
that
that
joint
shit
more than
aired.
once. I was like, I hope that she doesn't ever tell her friends, hey, my episode is coming on. She's sitting on the couch with all of them watching the show. And then they just hear her talk about how she hates them. Right. I was like, geez, let's have a follow-up episode about that shit.
Yeah, I'm
So
glad
yeah.
you no, that one I liked. I really like it. It's funny because I host trivia now. We got it going back to weekly. And some of the trivia people were mentioned in that episode. And it's
Okay.
funny though. People, I mean, there is like teams like that. I mean, that guy was definitely a little more, he was
A little
worried about the
extreme.
reaction and stuff. Yeah. But
Right.
I get what you mean. I mean, but please watch at least a couple more episodes and just
I'll
to see
watch
this
him.
woman, it's so crazy. Like, that's the thing I like too. Because think about this, man. TV forever, it's been on forever. To come up with something original and different that's still okay, yeah, it does make you feel like a little creepy and awkward, uncomfortable a lot. I mean, I kind of like he's able to do that. I
Man,
will
look.
say that check out the other one too, because that one's just like a shorter bit. They're only 20 minutes. They're a
Okay.
little funnier, you know what I mean? And you see his
Right.
personality more, but the Rehearsal is the next level.
Net
People have been
rehearsals next
talking
level.
about it.
I want to watch. I'll watch the lady. I'll watch the next episode with the lady.
Oh, she's so
but
crazy.
she's crazy. But just for the record, this is why.
And as a parent, I want to hear your version because parenting comes into this too, man.
Yeah, but she's going from infant to 18 in 4 days or something like
Okay,
that.
so you already know. I think it's every 3 weeks or something they change the kid.
Oh, every
Yeah.
3 weeks.
Or something like, or they change the kid every 3 years. So it jumps every 3 years. The
So
age.
she's gonna have
A baby to a 3-year-old to a 6-year-old to not. Yeah.
9.
But then it gets so much deeper, man, because then some of these parents with their kids and then the kid, it gets beyond. It's so crazy.
Dude, this is nuts. This is nuts.
So
It reminds me of why people like I'm not built for this joint because I remember when like Real World came out, like all these reality shows and Last Comic Standing, and you get these people and you put them in a place and you put the camera on them, or Big Brother, all that kind of stuff.
Give them a bunch of booze and watch them,
Yeah, exactly. I would never be selected for any of those shows ever because I'm too stable, right? Like too reasonable,
right. No,
too easy going.
Right. You have to be a little because that's not what people want to watch.
Exactly.
They want to watch something a little off. They want to watch it snap.
And that's what happens on the Rehearsal. These people, they're off.
Well, he finds an MVP of crazy.
He finds the MVP of crazy. But I think it's also an examination. I haven't even seen the episode, but just watching the beginning of this lady in this episode, the fact that she's 44, potentially a virgin, and she's waiting for the love of her life, and no one is suitable. Like, dude, I think it's a real moment of like, not a real moment, but I think it's a great view of kind of how the world is right now. Like everybody's looking for something perfect, right? Like there's this idea,
create this false utopia.
Yeah. Yes, it's false utopia.
In the meantime, they just are doing nothing. They're sitting
exactly.
Still.
Like I would not be surprised if this woman ended up by herself for the rest of her life, and just kind of, like, well, yeah, I just never found the right person. No one was ever good enough. She's going to be 56 talking about,
Right.
well, he's just not tall. He's too tall. He's too short. Like,
Right.
you still want to have
Right.
kids? Yeah,
Right.
medically, I think I can still do it. And she's going to be 63. Like, well, I never found anyone, but, now I can't have
Right.
kids. And so I just, but
You got to
it's
see the
just,
whole thing too, because he's Jewish and how Jews killed Christ. Oh, it gets so much deeper, dude. Oh shit.
okay, how Jews killed Christ.
Oh man.
And they're waiting for him to come back. And he's,
yeah.
if I'm Jesus, I wouldn't come back. The Jews killed me the first time. I'm like, I'm not giving you a second chance. Come on. Right? Like, I already been down that road. All right, so let's move on. So the rehearsal was
thanks for watching that, Reg. You keep going.
Absolutely.
It gets insanity. So President Biden gave a speech last night, and he compared a lot of these MAGA Republicans, Trumpers, he called it like semi-fascists at some point. Kevin McCarthy, the Speaker of the House, who was all for Trump, against the January 6th insurrections and changed his tone the past year. He said he wants an apology from Biden for calling him semi-fascist. So I had to put up a little tweet. And I wrote, Kevin McCarthy doesn't like to be called semi-fascist for refusing to stand up to Trump's lies. Okay, how about full pussy?
Okay. All right. And any response about
I got a few likes on that.
I like that. You don't like the word semi-fascist, and how about full-on vagina? Do you like that? You like full-on pussy? Full-on
bitch, dude. After fucking going after I'm just so disgusted with that guy, with how he bowed to Trump.
Just for the record, I want to make sure everyone knows that I am not sexist. So
yeah, we're not saying pussy and bitch towards women or cunt.
Yeah, exactly.
Him a cunt. He's a cunt.
Ooh, you throw out the C-bomb. That's your favorite word, about that sounds favorite
Well,
curse word,
I used to
way.
be. When I hung out with Jim Jeffries a lot, he'd say it all the time, and that's how I picked it up. And then, but I don't say it as much anymore. It's not as fun. Okay. I told you one time I opened for him and he was saying it left and right. So then I opened and I was like, the first thing I said was like, "Hey, what's up, San Francisco? You bunch of cunts."
Oh my God.
Looked at me. And I was like, oh yeah, it doesn't work without the accent, I guess.
You gotta have the accents. If as an American, you come out with that dry ass, boring ass American accent. What's up, you cunts? Everyone's like, fuck you. Right? but if you come out with a hello, you blokes, it's good to see me here in the city, and it's the city's full of a bunch of cunts. Everyone's like, oh, yeah. People love an accent. You can say anything with an accent, right? You tell somebody, hey, look, man, your mama's so old, her social security number 1. You'd be like, hey man, we talking about my mama, man, right? But you say that shit with an accent. Hello there, buddy. Oh, your mama's so old, she's social security is number 1. It was like, oh, that's funny. Like,
I always like the one you say, your mama's so big, she sit in the ocean and play with the ships.
Oh yeah, that's right. Man, your mama's so fat. These are from when I was growing up. Your mama's so fat, she sit in the ocean and play with the ships. Right. My other favorite one was, man, your mama's so fat, she on both sides of the family. All right, so
that's all I had to say about that.
So McCarthy is upset about being called a fascist. Yeah, man, they're on some dictatorship. Semi-fascist. They on some dictatorship for real.
Hey, yo, man, if you ain't gonna admit the guy's lying about a goddamn election that was fair, they go fuck yourselves.
Yes.
That's how I feel.
It's always everybody wants an apology, right? Apologize. But then they don't ever want to apologize.
They just try to politicize everything, man.
Yeah. It's funny, man. Like when you think about historically, you go back to England and the politics, and they used to wear, they dress up and they wear the wigs. Like it was like theater, right? They got into costume.
Yeah.
As I get older and I look at politics, it's becoming more and more theater to me. Like I feel like
totally.
Yeah, it's all just posturing, and nothing is sincere. It's all for whatever group of people they're trying to talk to directly, right? Like it's dog whistles for each other. It's whack, yo. It's like
people know that the election was fair, but they just want to say a lie because they could get off of that buzz, and they get headlines. They get headlines. It's all
it's like politics. Politicians want to be like celebrities. But they can't act. They can't be movie stars, right? So they want to.
Yeah.
And
then we made a celebrity a politician.
Oh my God, that's the worst.
And
that was the worst.
And then we saw so
yeah. So,
All right, but
all right.
let's talk sports, Red. So before we get to the future
No, let's not go there.
2023 champs, let's
Okay.
get into Serena Williams.
Yes, that's what I was gonna say. Let's go, Serena.
So I watched so tonight she has round 2, so this will already air. We'll see what happens. I watched round 1. It was awesome. She won.
Hold up. We got to let everyone know that Serena Williams is on this is her farewell tour. She's
Her
retiring.
last US Open she's in right now in
Yeah.
Queens.
So she's on her farewell tour. So everything that she participates in at this point is the last time she'll be doing it, right? Because she's 40 and she's
about to be 41, I think, next week.
About to be 41. So she's retiring. She's still playing in the elite level. She's still exceptional. But she's in the US Open right now. She won last night. She won her first round.
No, yeah, well, no, 2 nights ago. So
2 nights ago.
What's crazy, she has to play 3 nights in a row. So first night she played, she won. She beat the number 2 seed. Okay.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So
she's going out with a bang. I like
15 years younger. So then last night was the opening round with doubles, and her and her sister went up against the Czechs, and they lost against the Czechs. Oh, it was heartbreaking because they were down 4-1, and then they came back and tied it 4-4. And I was like, this is gonna be great. And then they just the Czechs were accurate. Man.
Well, man, I mean, look, they're both 40. One is
they're
40.
both way older. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Venus is older, right?
Yeah,
Venus is 42 or something like that. Yeah, she's
older than that, maybe
43. And Venus hasn't been like a marquee player for a while.
Right.
So
right.
So this really was a goodbye.
Yeah, it was kind of a bummer. And then so tonight she'll have the next round.
Okay.
In Serena will.
I would love to see her make it to the final. I'd love to see her win this one. Why not?
Yeah, Venus is 42. You're right.
Yeah, 42. It's only a couple years apart.
I always thought she was way older because she's just taller, but I guess
yeah,
not.
she's taller. Yo, seriously, Serena Williams is I think she could be arguably considered the greatest female athlete of all time. Just in the sense of one of the greatest, right?
Like we were seeing a thing because she's been doing forever. Since 98. That was when she first won a US Open.
Dude, she's got 23. She's won 23 majors since 1998. We're at 2022 right now.
So I read this thing. This was funny. The sports plays are putting up. It's like, well, the first time she won, LeBron James wasn't even in high school yet. Steph Curry was 10 years old.
Wow.
There was it like Coach Popovich had he was 160 in wins or 600 in wins, and now he's number 1. Like it was just the amount of stuff that's happened in that time.
Dude, she played through all of the 90s, all of the 2010s.
Well, not all. Well, yeah, she was young in the early 90s. Okay. Professionally, late 90s, all 2000s dominated.
She is arguably, I think she is probably the Tom Brady of female sports as far as her longevity.
Yeah, or Jordan, or even Tiger Woods was there watching. That was kind of cool.
Yeah, but I'm talking about as far as like how long Tom Brady has played and been excellent, right? Like she's like the Tom Brady of tennis. But then I also think that she's like the LeBron James of tennis, just in the sense of her like how she's built physically for the sport, right? Because when you look at other tennis players, she's not built like them. Dude, she's built like a powerhouse. Her shoulders.
She's
right. Like her shoulders, her neck, her legs, her thighs. Like she's built like a linebacker who's playing tennis. Yeah. Right. So physically, she's next level. She's So
did I tell you
kudos to her.
I used to cater in the Bay. I'd have to go down to Stanford once a year, and they do these tennis tournaments at Stanford. And it was kind of cool. You work the whole week, you make cash, you make money, right?
Right.
And it was all women's tennis tournament. So I saw Serena Williams there, and it was kind of cool. She was with her trainer, like out in this field where we're like grabbing our stuff, setting up, and we're watching her with their trainer. And they're throwing a football around. So I guess a lot of times they like to do different exercises than not just the sport they're in.
Yeah. Train your body in different ways.
Yeah. So he's this guy, he's a professional, he's in shape. He's throwing this bomb to her. He's trying to throw the ball there. She's grabbed the ball. She's throwing this, like these bombs, right? He's catching it. He's throwing it back. It's like skipping on the ground to her. And we're just watching like, damn, Serena Williams got an arm. She's got a gun. She can be a quarterback.
You're damn right. You can see that through her shirt, bro.
Yeah.
I'm like, her shoulders and her arms. Hey man,
Yeah.
she's built
So I've
like
never seen her play tennis, but I've seen her play football.
That's funny. Yeah, man. So she's a phenomenal talented man. She's a phenomenal talent, man. It's I guess all things come to an end, right? And
Yeah.
so she's had a great run, and I think it's an honor to have seen it, some of it,
Yeah.
and watch her. I'm curious about the next phase of life, right? Like transitioning to whatever else she's gonna do. But she's gonna be exceptional at that. And yeah, so kudos to Serena, man. Probably the
Yeah.
greatest female athlete of
You gonna
all
watch her
time.
tonight? Watch her tonight, man. ESPN.
I'll try to. If I can remember, I'll try to. I'll try to take that in.
All right, so well, we're getting towards the end here, Reg. So I think it's time we could talk about the future 2023 NBA champion Cleveland Cavaliers
Oh my
going for their
goodness.
second title this year. Dude, I'm stoked, man. Donovan fucking Mitchell.
Yeah, that's huge, man.
Woo!
I think that's a huge. So just for the record, let's clue everybody in.
And Nick
Donovan
screwed
Mitchell.
up.
Yeah, Donovan Mitchell, who's an all-star player from the Utah Jazz, initially with the Utah Jazz, was on the trading block, and the Knicks and Utah were going back and forth about Donovan potentially playing for the Knicks, and
They said he was excited to play for them.
Yeah, he. I think it was reported that was one of the teams that he wanted to play for.
Yeah.
Like who,
Everyone
why
likes
not go to
New
New
York
York
and the Garden.
New York, the Garden, right? But unfortunately, the organizations couldn't come to an agreement, and
fortunately,
okay, the organizations can come to an agreement, and so Donovan Mitchell was available in a different way, and out of nowhere, no one saw this coming. No one knew that this was even a possibility. Next thing you know, it's reported by what's his name, and Adrian Wojnarowski, that Donovan Mitchell was traded to the Cleveland Cavaliers. And you look at what they gave up. They gave up 3 players, 3 first unrestricted
picks, and
3 first-round picks, and then 2 second-round picks.
Yeah, but those 2 picks, those 2 picks, we just switch out our picks.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
That's all.
Okay.
But yeah, they gave up. But that was the thing. If the Knicks would have given up more a pick or 2 more, they could have had it. And then they said once they went to the Cavs, they never went back to the Knicks. They're like, fuck y'all.
Yeah.
And
they didn't give the Knicks a chance to match. Well, and it's funny. What I think is funny about the whole thing is that the Knicks miss out on a marquee all-star player in Donovan Mitchell, and now they're left trying to sell the excitement around keeping RJ Barrett.
It's like they tweeted something right after that, like about him signing. Who gives a fuck about no RJ Barrett? Donovan Mitchell, baby, way better.
Who gives a flying? You could have had Donovan Mitchell, a proven all-star, right?
Yeah.
Multiple time all-star, the guy who can put it up and make it happen. You lose that guy, and now you're trying to be like, that's like, for me, it's like saying, well, we missed out on signing Michael Jordan, but we got we got Richard Jefferson. we nailed Richard Jefferson. Yeah, whatever. We missed out on Michael Jordan, but we got Richard Jefferson.
Yeah. And I remember, now I like Donovan Mitchell. I liked him when he first came in the league. I wanted him to beat out Lonzo for the rookie of the year or whenever that was. And I remember I went to a Lakers game that year and they played Utah, and I saw him play in his rookie year.
Oh, cool.
And it was great. He's an awesome player. But then when they said, oh, the Cavs earlier in the month were thinking about the trade. But I was like, well, hey, man. They're like, but Garland, they're like, the main 3 are off. Garland, Jared Allen, and Mobley. And I was like, good. I'm like, I'd rather not have Donovan Mitchell because I like what these 3 have done.
You're okay with getting rid of Colin Sexton?
Totally fine with that because we didn't need him last year. And him and Garland, it's the same position. It doesn't work. Okay. Right. Garland's proven himself. The rookie we just got, that could have been good. Who knows? But then the other one, the tall white guy I like, the 7-footer. He was a tall 7-footer market, and he could hit his threes. But yeah, he wasn't consistent enough.
Okay.
So now you got Mitchell on the shooting guard. You got the point guard is Garland. Then you got Mobley. You got Allen. And then in the small forward is the weakest position. You could put in a Coro, who's our guy. Usually he's our defensive guy. But then you got Mobley's brother going to be backup center. Like
Mobley's brother is on the team.
Yeah, he just joined last year. He's from They both played at USC together, and the Cavs picked him up like he was undrafted, I think, and he's a center. Okay. So yeah, you got that kind of camaraderie. And you know who the oldest players on the Cavs, like the oldest star, 25-year-old Donovan Mitchell. Well, Kevin
Wait,
Love, but I mean
Kevin.
starters
Yeah.
of the starters, it's Donovan Mitchell. He's
At
older than
25.
Allen. He's older than Mobley. He's older than Garland.
Right.
And
And he's
he's
proven.
young.
Yeah, he's young, and he's bringing in that experience from playing in the West, right? Having had some pretty nice runs in the playoffs, right? Like having made some impact. Now, this my only question is this, because in Utah, Donovan Mitchell played the point guard. So you're going to move him to two guard?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. That's what it looks like they're going to do, but I don't know.
You move him to the 2. Donovan Mitchell's only 6'3". That's
6'1".
No,
I looked it up. He's 6'1", bro.
Well, he's 6. Okay, barefoot he's 6'1", but in tennis shoes 6'2.5", right? Almost 6'3". But either way it goes.
I mean, you look at Garland. Garland's even smaller.
So now you got these small guards, and
but
but hold up though. You're gonna have if you want to go, he's 6'1". Let's go there. You're gonna have him playing the shooting guard position at 6'1", the two guard position, where that is traditionally now. Those guys are like 6'5", 6'6". You know what I mean? So he's going to be a little undersized.
I mean, we got a couple 7-footers on the floor also, though.
Well, yeah, you got some rim protection. You got some rim protection. So I think they'll figure it out, though. That's a good problem.
I think they'll be fine. Yeah, and I think, and that's the thing. I think last year they would have made the playoffs fine, but Mobley and Allen got hurt in the last month, and they were out. I mean, Allen was out for at least a month. It was rough.
Right.
So I mean, injuries are such a big part of it, and now at least. If whenever there's injuries or you need someone else, you got more people you could rely on, more people could take the winning shot, who could drive. You know what I mean? It's just, I think it's gonna be great, man. I'm excited for the season. I'm way more excited Cleveland got Donovan Mitchell than Deshaun Watson. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, that whole Deshaun Watson thing has been a fiasco.
And even when I see the dude talk, I'm just like, he just feels guilty. He's just like, he lied to you, 30 women, NDAs. Oh, the guaranteed, and it wasn't even done for the Texans. The Texans blow.
Exactly. So I was like, why? It's like they wanted to give away money to that guy. Why give away $200 and some odd $1 million to a dude that didn't even play last year, who still had court hearings and unresolved issues in regards to that? It was like, whoever
this dude better be amazing in week 11. Or
is he gonna be able to
play? Week 12 he plays. He has to miss 11 games.
Jeez,
I know.
11 games.
So he gets. It's so absurd. It's all so stupid, and I don't.
He better come in and
the first game of the year is next weekend, and the Browns play Baker Mayfield and the Carolina Panthers.
And they're gonna be playing against him with a backup QB.
Yeah, Jacoby Brissett. Yeah.
Oh, that's terrible.
I know.
So Baker Mayfield's gonna win that. He's gonna win.
We'll see. We got a good team. Maybe Myles Garrett could come through for us.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. All right. All right, man. You ready to wrap it up?
Yeah, man. I got nothing else. My Oregon dates got moved to the first week of October, so I'll be around next week. So if you got whoever you want to bring in, Reggie and I have been trying to put out a live show. I haven't heard back. You haven't got a confirmation yet, so I'm getting impatient. But Reg is telling me to relax, so I'll try. Have you been watching House of Dragon, bro? You all caught up on the 2 episodes?
Sir. Yes, sir.
Cool. It's more like a build setup, I feel, so far, but it's gonna get good, I think. Now.
Well, okay, and I'm glad you said that. Just for the record, for anybody who's listening, because I've heard a couple people like, well, it's just like not a whole lot is happening. It's like, like any story, there has to be a foundation laid. Right. And then you build. No one comes out the gate. Like, this ain't John Wick, right? Like, no, there's an actual story. So they're developing the story, which I'm actually really into. I'm enjoying.
I mean, it feels like there's less, like the old one, there were so many different groups. And this one, it's almost like if we just did the Lannisters, you're just doing the rich, the people in power right now. And I guess you do have those other ones, the queen who never was, and there's going to be more now. It's building. The divides are building.
Oh yeah, well,
and that they're going to get older. You know that they're going to push it. Like the young actresses are getting replaced by older ones.
Yes. And I mean, we already have conflict. The crab feeder, the stepsons, or whatever it is.
Daemon Targaryen.
Then you got Daemon Targaryen. Just in the preview, that another, the daughter's been named the heir, but we know that based on the previews, there's something else coming too. Aegon is coming. So man, I'm excited about seeing how
did you catch the one line there? I forget the name of it. Is Aegon the dragon? The one big dragon that's still out there.
No, that's Balon.
I forgot it. Yeah, but there's some. So that thing's going to be showing up sometime at the end of the series. I bet, all huge.
You know what? I'm glad that you mentioned that about the dragons because in our last episode, you mentioned you're like
They're skinny.
you're like these dragons are skinny. Now, if you remember from Game of Thrones, the whole thing that they said was that the Targaryens kept the dragons caged, and over the
Yeah, but
years,
this is like before that.
well,
This is
no, because
before
they
they
still
shrink.
no, because this is the beginning of the shrinkage.
Well,
Because
this
if
is what
you
I think. I think they're made purposely look skinny because this big motherfucker's coming.
well, yeah, it's that too, but I think this is also the beginning. I think that's coming. I think that's true too.
Maybe. I mean, we'll see.
But I think that this is the beginning of them keep because even now they have the guys who watch the dragons who keep them in the caves or whatever.
That's true.
So this is the beginning of the dragons shrinking in size based on being in smaller, smaller
They say they
environments.
have 10 of them, right? They have 10 dragons.
Yes,
But
and remember
they
he was talking about
the
in Valeria they
Valerian
had
had 1,000.
He said
So
1,000
Valeria,
dragons strong, and now
dude,
they
that
have
shit would have
10.
been sick. I
And
want
if
to
you
see how
remember,
that went down.
well, hold up though. And if you remember, by the time that the Mad King was there, they were like the dragons were like the size of dogs
Right.
or whatever, right? Like they consistently shrunk because they kept
Before
them
the
in
Mad
this.
King, I think there wasn't a dragon for
Oh, yeah, that's right. It
100
wasn't no
years.
dragon. Yeah.
But do you remember though when they went back? Remember in Game of Thrones when they went to Valeria with Tyrion was there with and that's where the stone people lived.
Oh, that's right.
That's what it is. That's the only reference we've had of it, and like in visual form at least.
The stone people. That's
where they would
Valeria.
send them after Valeria got destroyed.
And if you look at this one, have you noticed that the stepsons, when they kind of show them, that some of them have that grayscale, some of them are covered in that grayscale.
Who's the
stepsons? The crab feeders, because of their creative ways of feeding the crabs. If you notice, because it looks like they have the mask on in the previews, they have the mask, and parts of their bodies are covered with what looks like grayscale. Right.
I mean, I have to see. So wait, you saw us in the trailer or in the last episode?
I saw that in the trailer.
For the next one.
Oh,
so
no. I think they showed some of it in the.
I can't remember. They barely showed the crab.
Well, no. They showed some. No, because they showed the guy staking the guy's hand to the thing. Right. And they showed some of them up close. So,
but listen, they're called the stepsons. Okay, that's right.
Yes, and
I get so confused with all the fucking characters. So the names are absurd. I don't know.
Yes, and just for the record, I'll be watching that episode again.
Yeah.
I'm watching everything twice. I'm watching everything twice, 3 times. Did you see the new episode of She-Hulk?
I haven't gotten on it. My bad.
Oh, dude.
I mean, I did see it was funny. I was in LA. I wanted to take a picture, but I was at a stoplight and there was a bus with a lawyer thing for She-Hulk. And it said like call 1-800 She-Hulk. Or maybe it's 1-888 She-Hulk. So I wonder if you call the number to be something funny. But then there was an actual billboard of a real lawyer there too. And LA's full of these lawyer billboards. So it was funny to see it.
So let's call 1-8. Would you say 1-8?
I think it's 1-888 She-Hulk.
Okay.
Whatever those numbers are.
HU.
I did this on Stranger Things.
Did ready? This. Here we go. I'm calling it right now.
Stranger Things did this with the pizza guy. I try 1-800. Maybe I was wrong.
Okay.
But you remember in Stranger Things, the long-haired dude who delivered the pizzas?
Yes.
There was a phone number somewhere in it, and I called it, and it's him answering it, just all stoned, talking about the pizzas.
All right, here we go. 1-800 She-Hulk. Ready?
Yeah. What the hell do I know?
Okay. Well, you know what I think we just learned from this valuable experience is that you're the guy that watches shows and calls the numbers.
Hey, man.
Calls the numbers in the background. You actually do. You know how many shows I've seen where I've seen phone numbers on stuff?
And wait, here it is. I got it wrong. Here it is.
Oh boy, here we go. Okay.
1-877 She-Hulk.
Jeez, 877 SHEHULK. All right, here we go.
Hi, you've reached the Superhuman Law Division at GLK&H.
Okay, this time recorded as She-Hulk.
What?
Yep.
You know they can't see me, right? Okay, whatever. call is very important to us. Our associates are unavailable to take your call at this time, but please stay on the line to hear about our services here at GLK&H. Have you been fined for thousands of dollars worth of damage to the city you were trying to protect? Did you accidentally create a sentient robot who got the feels and tried to destroy the world? Maybe you're an Asgardian god who leaves a giant burning imprint on private property every time you arrive on Earth.
I know who she's talking about.
We've got your back. Our associates at the Superhuman Law Division of GLK&H will fight for your rights to fight for everyone else's rights, because that's what superheroing is all about.
Yeah.
But don't take my word for it. Here's some testimonials from our satisfied clients. And
Dude, I'm getting a call from work right now. Really?
once again,
We heard enough of it.
Okay.
I get the gist. I mean, you enjoyed it.
Hold on. Hey, hold on 1 second, okay?
Wrap us up, Reg.
Okay. Hey guys, thank you for listening. I know it's a crazy way to end, but thank you guys for watching. We really appreciate it. Please like, share, and comment. We're all for it. We're gonna keep doing it. We love it. I hope you do too. That's Sal Kalani. I'm Reggie Steele, and this is Spitballin. Peace.